Rising up, here we go. No time to be afraid. They say it's impossible. Can't listen to what they say. They got me motivated. Oh yeah, I'm motivated.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Maximize the Business of You. I'm Maximino, and today our conversation is about yoga and the benefits of yoga, enlightenment, and mind-body healing aspects of yoga with Jeffrey Villanueva. Jeffrey is a certified yoga instructor of the disciplines of Jivamukti yoga, ashtanga yoga, and sadhana. He's here today with us to share his passion for teaching and inspiring others. Welcome, Jeffrey.
Thank you so much, Max, for having me.
Man, I was doing the research on you. I went to your website, and I'm excited because you're amazing, bro. I was like, wow, okay, this is the real deal right here. So take us on a journey. Tell us how you found yoga in your life.
Yes, well, again, appreciate you having me. And, I'm definitely not amazing. I think it just takes a lot of practice and patience and kind of being open to discovering who you are at the end of, at the end of the day. But how I discovered yoga really briefly was really by accident. I was living in Boston at the time, finishing college. I went to Berklee College of Music, and my roommate at the time just suggested I should try yoga. And I remember, he doesn't practice yoga. He wasn't a fitness guy or any kind of healing modality or anything like that. He just told me I should practice yoga. So I remember we walked over across the street. We lived across the street from a Barnes and Noble. We walked over across the street. We grabbed some yoga DVDs, and I remember I tried on one of these DVDs, and the first posture that most people do in yoga is the downward dog, right? Adho Mukha Svanasana. And I remember I literally wanted to throw up and pass out after 5-10 breaths. And it was very uncomfortable. But after, continuing to do it for some odd reason, I continued to practice and struggle. And then one day I just had a little bit of an awakening, and I realized I was a lot more patient with myself, patient with others. And I saw that being in tune with yourself and your discomforts can kind of lead you in a place where you can find space and you can find clarity.
Nice. So I want to go back to the Berklee School of Music because we're musicians here too. So what were you studying? I mean, of course, music, but are you still a musician?
Yes, I'm still a musician. I'm a drummer. I come from a jazz background. When I went to Berklee, I was studying performance. So pretty much, taking classes that would just help me excel at what I wanted to do musically and with drumming. As of currently now, I still consider myself a musician, but my primary focus is teaching and practicing yoga because it's something that I'm extremely passionate about, as I was passionate about music, which I still am as well. But my main purpose right now is to teach and practice yoga. Yeah.
Awesome. So you, I saw some of your poses. So give us some of the benefits of yoga for my audience, and how has it helped you in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's the great thing about practicing yoga is, obviously there's a lot of physical benefits. The physical benefits that we see is more flexibility. We see a lot of decrease in kind of discomfort in our bodies, whether that be physical pain or ailments that we deal with from a day-to-day basis. But I think most important thing that can keep us really engaged in this practice is how it creates synergy between body, mind, and soul. So as you are receiving all these amazing physical benefits for the yoga, like maybe increased flexibility, you're actually also using your mind to create stability within the body. So what normally happens in the practice is that we're putting our bodies into these really difficult shapes, pretzel-like shapes, and a lot of it can be super uncomfortable. A lot of it can be discomforting, sometimes even painful, even though we're not striving for pain. And it's almost like putting your body through all these kind of rigorous tests for you to find a place where you cannot react. So rather than reacting to the discomfort, how can you use your breath? How can you be patient with yourself and slow down the mind to be with the discomfort? And ultimately, that's what the yoga practice teaches us. The physical benefits are really just a byproduct of what actually yoga is doing, and it's allowing you to really be with yourself, be with the present, and then how to use this tool of yoga to relax, to soften, to not react. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So, I found yoga about 25 years ago. Of course, I'm not, professional like you are, but I found yoga and I found it through a person I think you have something in common with, Russell Simmons. I'm into hip hop, I'm into music. So Russell is the first person that I saw that was like me, that was into yoga. So when he was doing it, I was like, I'm gonna try that. And I went to a yoga class and I was doing it for a couple of years. And then I stopped. But then I found Bikram yoga. And I just fell in love with Bikram yoga. And to this day, I still do it. Unfortunately, during the pandemic, I haven't been able to do it. But I use yoga in my workouts. So I combine weight training with yoga. But the benefits of hot yoga were amazing to me because the flexibility that I gained, and I was not prone to injury as much because of the flexibility and the weight training. Tell us the story about Russell Simmons and your education.
Yeah, so at the time I moved to New York City in 2009 with not really any plan, like every musician does. But I was also super invested in practicing yoga, and I visited Jivamukti Yoga School, which is a world-renowned school for Hatha Yoga. And I remember I inquired about getting a job there just because I wanted to be around yoga. And if I had to have like a part-time job, why not be, surrounded with yoga and work for the school, So I was able to kind of get a job working at the front desk. So I was able to get free yoga at the same time, be surrounded with all the philosophy behind the practice, particularly like the Jivamukti method and where it comes from. And then I was introduced to Russell Simmons because Russell Simmons was a regular practitioner at the school. And me working at the front desk, I would always, check him in. I would, just, talk with him, and he was very, obviously very charismatic. He was very, very always super nice. And he'd always bring, anyone who with him to class, whether they would be like, I don't know, his driver or a friend or another celebrity of his, whatever. He always had a friend with him because he was just so captivated by the practice. And then how I began my training was Russell offered like scholarships for those for colored students, those who kind of don't have the needs or the means to go to study and get certified. So I was very fortunate enough for him to see my passion for this practice, to see my practice itself. Not that it's a performance or anything, but through practice you see someone's dedication, you see someone's hard work, and he really saw that this is something that was a life commitment. So he sent me to teach training and was able to allow me to fulfill one of my many dreams.
That's so exciting. That must have been like super exciting to get that opportunity, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's yoga is for everybody, but yeah, it is especially in New York City. It's very expensive to take classes. I think part of it was him giving back. He saw how much it helped him, and he also can see how it can help so many others who maybe don't have the access to pay money for yoga classes, or even to get yoga education. So it's I'm very, very fortunate, and part of what I strive to do is to really share what I'm so passionate about, and even share to those who are maybe don't have the means to also have this practice, have a way to kind of share it where we can both benefit from it.
Nice. So what are the differences between the two practices that you
Yeah,
of yoga?
absolutely. So you were talking about earlier how you do Bikram, and I never done Bikram myself, but I hear a lot of benefits about it. With Bikram, you guys use actual external heat, right? Like heaters to build up heat in the body, which can increase flexibility, or at least help with flexibility, and make you kind of sweat. And the great thing about sweating is it detoxifies the body. With Hatha yoga and Jivamukti and Ashtanga yoga in particular, it's a vinyasa style yoga. So what's happening is vinyasa is this synergy between linking movement, breath, and how that kind of movement and synchronization with the body creates more heat in the body. So we're not using heaters or anything for to warm the body. We're actually using our breath, movement, and stillness to create heat in the body. So that's what the Ashtanga yoga practice is based upon, is the vinyasa, and it's a sequence of it's 3 series, but they're all in sequential order. So you do a certain part of postures, then the next, and the next, and it's all done in sequential order in vinyasa. So you're using the breath, and the breath links the movement and the posture, and transitions in and out of postures.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you meditate as well, or is the yoga part of your meditation?
Yeah. Well, the whole purpose of so when we talk about yoga, like, it gets kind of put into this box where it's just postures, and actually yoga is a state of being. So I always hear, oh, I'm not good at yoga, or wow, you're so flexible. Well, you can't be good at yoga, and yoga is not about being flexible. If we want to think about flexibility, it's really flexibility of the mind. So we use asana. Asana are the postures. We use the postures to experience yoga, to find yoga. So that being said, it's really the practice. The asana is used to find stillness, and in order to when you have stillness, you can be in a better position to meditate. So you can't meditate if the body is diseased, if the body has aches and pains, if you can't sit comfortably, if the mind is always chattering. So what the asana does is the asana has you focus on your breath, focus on your body, so that you're not worried about other things that you're thinking about. And then with that, when you find that stillness with your body, with your breath, with your mind, then you can sit down and be comfortable. Oh, and when you also allow the body to be more soft instead of rigid and tight, you can find space, and this is the space you need and the stillness you need to meditate.
So for my audience, what would be your suggestion on how they can get started in practicing yoga to help them gain enlightenment?
Absolutely. Well, one of the greatest things is that yoga can be done anywhere. You don't need a machine to do it. You don't need to be in a specific place to even do it. You just need maybe a small little room where you can maybe move the body a little bit, or not even move the body. You can just sit. So some advice that I have is really to you just have to start, and you also just have to work at it every day. And a big something that I will say is that it doesn't matter how long you practice for, or what you practice in particular, right? It's really the quality of your practice. So whether you're practicing for 2 hours, okay, or whether you're practicing for 1 minute, the whole point is to show up. And I think when you show up for yourself and you give yourself time to be with yourself. I mean, I think especially with, technology and our phones, first thing we do when we wake up is we look at our phone and the schedule we have to do. Actually, the first thing you should do when you wake up is to sit and to be with yourself. And I think having that kind of ritual can not only allow you to be in a better space for going about your day, but you're giving time for you. So my advice is to always show up. Don't worry about how long you're practicing for. Just give yourself time to be present. Give yourself time to check in with yourself. How am I feeling today? How does my body feel? What do I need? How is my mind feeling? Am I anxious? Am I calm? And what tools do I have to put me in a place where I can be the best version of myself? And also we have access to internet. So there's so many things online on YouTube. And you don't need a lot to get started. You need to know just a couple you have to know what style of practice that intrigues you. Are you more on a physical part, or do you want more of the meditative part? But whichever route you go, it's always going to lead you to a different place, because we're obviously constantly growing, and that's what the practice does for us. It allows us to continue to grow and to evolve, and we don't want to stay complacent, right? We always want to evolve and be the best that we can be.
Every day. And in our communities, especially Latino, Black, that's one of the things that we don't have enough of. I don't think enough people are connected to improving themselves through yoga and meditation. I don't think a lot of people see the importance of it. Like you said in the beginning, most of the time what people do is look at their phone in the morning and don't connect with the world. What other advice would you give people who are searching, especially through COVID? It's been such a hard adjustment for a lot of people, mentally, physically, people staying home, they're not moving. What do you suggest to people to help them out during these times?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously we all been experiencing this daily. Even myself, who the studios or the shalas that I were teaching at, they all have either closed down and probably won't open again. My advice is, and I say this to myself as well, and so kind of my motto is to take it one day at a time, one breath at a time. What happened yesterday doesn't necessarily matter, and what we are planning for the future doesn't matter because it hasn't even happened. Okay? But more importantly, we can plant seeds in the present to kind of help us get to where we envision ourselves to be. So, every day, just take, a couple minutes or maybe more, but a couple minutes just to sit and be quiet. No external devices, don't look at, don't look at a newspaper or whatever. Just be with yourself, be with your thoughts. And it's not about even trying to get rid of your thoughts. Just allow yourself to be present. And whatever comes up, allow yourself to sit and observe. Don't put yourself in a position to react. Just watch, and sometimes you surprise yourself. Sometimes what can be so reactive to you, you realize was really silly, and you start to see the world a lot differently. And most importantly, be kind to yourself. Every day we're trying our best, so if you're kind to yourself, it's easier. It'll give you more means to be kind to others. And in this time now, we just need kindness. It's not about being nice. We just need to be kind. We need to be human. We need to see each other. I need to see myself in you. And I think when we start to see ourselves in one another, we start to see that there's not really many differences at all.
I love that. That's beautiful. And I agree with you 100%, man. It's been a tough time. So, you explain a little bit how COVID has affected you and your teaching. So how have you adapted? What have you done differently during COVID to keep sharing your gift of yoga to the people?
Yeah, it's allowed me to. I think what's nice is it's a different kind of connection. I find that maybe I'm a little bit more accessible to others because I'm able to maybe reach more people who don't live in New York City. Um, so that's given me opportunity to reach those who are in further parts um, around the world. But it's also allowed me to, obviously, when we're teaching in person, there's a lot of verbal cues, but there's also a lot of hands-on adjustments. So without being in a physical space and also not even like being able to like adjust anyone or assist anyone, it's allowed me to really use my words more precisely. It also allows me to see where I can improve on in my teaching. It also allows me to see, it's okay if this where this person is at is where they're at. And if anything, just allowing them to move and to be with their breath and to find a place of space is better than, you know, just allowing everything just to be chaotic in the mind and especially in the body. So it's been really it continues to be actually a learning experience for me.
Yeah, yeah. I think yoga is so important. I think more important right now than ever. So I agree with everything you say. So, what does the first hour of your day look like? What do you do when you wake up in the morning?
First hour of my day is I wake up to my beautiful wife and our dog. We The first thing I used to do was practice actually, but now being married and my wife has her routines as well. We actually like to clean our apartment first. So, and in yoga philosophy too, they say, your space should always be clean. If you have a clean space, you have a clean environment, you're going to want to invite that into yourself. So, I think being like tidy and in your temple, your home is your temple, like it is not should not be overlooked. So we clean. I make a cup of coffee. I have a little ritual where I do like a little pour over coffee. I sit for a little bit, and then I start practice. So that's my, you know, maybe the first hour of my day.
Dope, dope. And I totally agree with you. Vang Shui, like just
Yeah.
I can't work if my place is a mess. I just can't. I love simplicity. I love
Hmm.
just things being in order, and it just helps my mind to focus a little better. If there's clutter in my house, I have to stop, fix it all up,
Yeah.
and then and work. So I agree with you on that as well, man. So much. So tell me, I don't know if you look in the future so much. Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Mm. In 5 years from now. You know, before yoga, I used to think a lot about the future, and it used to get me in trouble because I was never happy with what was going on now. But maybe a better question is where would I what are the kind of seeds I want to plant? So when 5 years comes up, those seeds are planted and have grown. Um, I see myself, having a child or two with my wife, um, having another dog. I see myself hopefully having this COVID situation under control, and I can have my own shala. I can start teaching in person again. I can be of service to my community, be of service to those who want to know themselves a little bit better, um, and just be a loving father, husband, and yeah, that's where I would like to see myself in 5 years.
Awesome, awesome. Do do you? I heard you say that just now. So do you want to open your own place after this whole thing is settled down? Correct?
Absolutely. I mean, that's always been a dream of mine before the shutdown. And it still is a dream of mine. I'm an artist, and I think yoga is another means of art. It's expressing yourself. It's learning to be. I feel like the hardest thing in life is to know yourself, and when you can find, as a musician, when you can find this perfect, I don't know, whatever chord progression in your life, well, when you can find the music within yourself, and you can learn to listen to it all the time and be with it, it's really, it makes life a lot more manageable, you know.
Absolutely. Where would we be without music?
Exactly, absolutely.
So when you listen to music, who you listening to right now?
Ooh, I kind of went back, so I started listening to a little J. Cole recently.
Okay, yeah,
I
yeah,
love
we
J.
J. Cole fans
I
here.
love J. Cole. I'm from Baltimore,
Okay,
and then so I've been listening to a little J. Cole. I like pop music too, so
yeah,
I like pop that's like strictly for entertainment. So I listen to a little bit of like, a little bit of everything. Luther
which one?
Vandross.
Luther. Oh,
Um, you know.
wow, Luther. That is my favorite singer of all time. Luther
Oh, really?
Vandross.
I'm
Yep,
not surprised. You would
yep.
look like a Luther Vandross
I'm a
fan.
Luther guy. My daughter
Um,
was actually born, and she's a singer, the day that he died.
wow, that's amazing.
And she's an amazing
Um,
singer. So yeah,
oh,
we're Luther. We're Luther. Luther is very prominent in our house right now.
yeah.
Who
Powerful. He's
else?
a
Go ahead,
powerful
keep
singer.
going.
I'm gonna go with my favorite band, the whole world, which is like Dave Matthews Band.
Okay.
Um, jam band music. And throw in a little Lady Gaga in there.
Okay.
She's pretty.
Yep.
She's pretty fierce, and so that's like my pop little exploration there. And I don't know. Let's go with like Beyonce.
Oh
You
yeah.
gotta love Queen Bee.
Beehive.
You gotta
That's
love
it. The
you
Queen
gotta love
Bee.
Queen Bee.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, if you could share a couple of words with my audience and enlighten them one more time with a wrap up of what we've been discussing today, what would you tell them?
Yeah. But as I said earlier, one day at a time, one breath at a time. There's no place that you need to be except in the now, and to make it your job to 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 be kind to yourself, to be compassionate, um, and just trust in the universe, let go and let God. That's it.
Awesome. Where could people find more information on you?
You can go to my website, so www.jeffryvillanueva.com. I'm also on Instagram at Jeffry Villanueva Yoga. And yeah, you can reach me through those platforms. And also, if you do visit the website, whatever you see in terms of like my postures, yoga is beyond, putting your leg behind your head or anything of that matter. It's really learning to find a place of stillness and to be content, to be happy, to be, you know, we talked a little bit earlier where I'm from, or my yoga training, Jivamukti. Mukti means liberation, and Jiva is the individual soul. So it's to be liberated while living, right? That's Jivamukti. So really, to find liberation within yourself. Don't hold yourself back. It's life is there's so much more to life than that. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us here on Maximize. Everybody, go follow Jeffrey. Go check out his website. He is amazing. Jeffrey, thank you for being on Maximize, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on.